Hello everyone, Reed back here with my Monster Hunter playthrough. Today we're going to be taking on the Agnaktor. Um, Not a lot to say about the Agnaktor. It's sort of like a big lava lizard, I guess you'd say. I personally don't find it to be very hard to fight, but I mean, I can understand how some people would. It can be very frustrating, but once you sort of get down where you're going to get hit by its attacks, it's a lot easier to avoid than you might think. Ice Agnaktor, on the other hand, which is in 3, actually it might be in this game now I think about it. The Ice Agnaktor is essentially an ice version, and it's much more of a pain in the ass, because gives you less openings, and it's just fun, or less fun to fight. There's also some other intricacies to the Agnaktor that I'll talk about once the intro video plays here. Alright, so as you can see, it's just this big lizard looking thing. And you might have noticed that before it had the lava all around it. When the lava is red and sort of melted, you can like hit through it fine, but as you can see, when it's all black and hardened, you can't really pierce through it. I think even with purple sharpness you can't get through. So it can make it very frustrating if the Agnaktor doesn't go in lava to heat itself back up. And so, as you can see right here, also, I didn't know this, bombs apparently reheat the lava, which is pretty cool, but not entirely useful. Because, I mean, I guess, if you're a big person who uses bombs, then you're gonna have bombs on you, but me personally, I'm not a big fan. Unless it's like, I think only Devil Joe, maybe a few others that I'll actually use bombs on. And that's only because it just makes breaking certain parts of them a lot easier. Which I guess you could say about this too, but honestly, it's not too hard to fight. It can be frustrating, but overall, it's decently easy. So that's one of the little sort of tricks you can learn, is that if you're in a certain spot, when it does that sort of spin tail sweep move, you won't get hit by it. It's usually on the right side of it towards the front leg, and that's how I usually gauge it. If I'm over there, I'm not gonna get hit, because the tail will go around you sort of and not hit you, and the head will come up as where you are. Also, you noticed it does that sort of head pound, like it nails itself into the ground, I guess. I don't know. That's probably its most annoying move. And here is one of the biggest openings it can give you, is the laser. I've seen a lot of people that have trouble, like, not so much avoiding it, or well, yeah, actually avoiding it, that's what I meant to say. So they'll have trouble avoiding it, and I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to, like, run away from it, when in reality, if you're close enough to not get, like, to like get close enough to it that you won't get hit by it, it's probably better to do that, because you get like a good 5-6 seconds of just wailing on it. That's like 2 almost full greatsword charges. So here, this was very unfortunate, because I thought I could swipe its chest, but I hit its arm instead, and also there too. That was the big, like, oh, that was a bummer. And so now I'm kind of, oh shit, what do I do? So I decided to heal, and then foolishly run back in, because, why not? Also, that laser, the just straightforward laser, is a really easy one to avoid. because it's just in a straight line, so you move to the left a little bit and you're out of the way. Obviously, I mean, if it's your first time fighting it, you're probably not going to be able to get out of the way in time. This was shitty. Like, this was the danger zone right here. Luckily, it went for my cat, I think, or just tried to predict me, but failed hard. Anyways, what was I saying? That laser, yeah, it's another big opening. So, like, there are some attacks that are hard to avoid, one being the, like, side swim attack that it has, that it did at the beginning of the video, or, well, at the beginning of the fight. And that can be sometimes hard to avoid if it does it when you're near it, because this thing's pretty damn big, and that's a very wide attack, so you're not going to be able to, like, get away from it. Your best bet is try to sheath your weapon and just, like, dive out of the way. And even then, you're not guaranteed to get away. But, you know, there's sort of this balance of, like, going in and out of range of where it will do the laser and where it will do its other attacks. So if you're close to it, it's most likely not going to do a laser attack. It's either going to do the head smash down, which can be a pain in the ass, because it's damn near instant, and it's just hard to avoid. It's even hard to avoid in this one, actually. They reduced the hitbox in 3U, or at least it seems like they did, because now, like, where the ground breaks, that also hits you in 3U, you can kind of avoid that, which is very nice. But yeah, so you kind of gotta be, like, a few feet in front of its head, and it'll almost always do the laser or the side swim. So see, there you go. Like, the range on the area that it hits is huge, and is giant, and very hard to, like, get out of if you're sort of mid-combo or just in the middle of fighting it, honestly. And it's probably my least favorite move it has. It's a real bummer. Like, I've died more than enough times to it turning and then just doing that right away, and me getting my shit wrecked, which is super unfortunate. Luckily, though, you know, those things don't, or I don't know, I don't know where I'm going with that. So my goal here, or with this fight in general, is to get his tail off. So did that. This fight becomes a whole lot easier. Well, I mean, not really, but in general, the fight becomes easier because this tail move, you're much safer behind it than you would be. Also, that was really lucky that I broke its chest there. You can see, then there again, like, the area it attacks is very large and frustrating. But yeah, so you see, like, anything on, like, sort of the left side of it is you're safe. Like, it's super great. And so here I was trying to break its back, because no real reason beyond, when you break the lava, you have a chance of getting lava nuggets, which are really hard to come by. Well, not really hard to come by, but just a pain in the ass to come by, because you can get them from this thing, maybe one other thing that I can't remember right now, and freaking Aragon, and I really hate fighting her. Like, the amount of times I want to fight an Aragon is, like, just all the time. Not to say it's a bad fight or anything, it's just really annoying, and not, it's just, it's like a, I don't know how to describe it more than that. But, one thing I do know about this boss, and most bosses that are very long, is if you use a gun, pierce shots are very good against it. Because you can hit down its length, and you can hit, like, a lot of hitboxes, so you get more sort of overall damage than you would against something like, I don't know, what else? Like a Baroth, maybe? But even then, Baroth is a terrible candidate for pierce shots. Of course, I don't really gun, so I don't really know, but I mean, long monsters, you know, pierce shots are where you want to be. And I guess if you're fighting Dire Morales in Monster Hunter 3. Also, hammer can be good on this thing, because where its head sits is should be like at the right height for you to get at least triple charge on it. Of course, you're much more susceptible to that head pound thing that it does, which can be frustrating. But you know, pick and choose your battles, and you make liberal use of the uppercut. That's all I can say. Longsword, I assume, is sort of the same as switch axe. Sort of just dodge in and out. Greatsword is what I used to use to fight it, but honestly, I think switch axe, longsword, those are very good to fight it with because you have all the mobility you want, and you can. It's a very good monster to stay close to. And it's very easy to stay sort of close into it, as opposed to something like a Barroth, yeah, or maybe like a Tigrex. And that's sort of where these sort of medium speed weapons shine, is staying in close and but not I lost my train of thought there, because I got thinking like, well, dual swords kind of do the same thing, and I guess sword and shield, but that's more of like if you want to support, if you're in a team comp. But I mean, you know, I'm not saying that anything's better than anything else, but the amount of damage you'll do with a sword and shield as opposed to dual swords is not a close comparison, so to speak. So that was really cool that I got healed by my cat there. And I really need to upgrade their armor. Or not really upgrade their armor, but just make them new armor. Because right now they're just using the crappy metal stuff, which looks cool, but it's not great. So, I don't know. And here I'm taking the time to mine, because in this area, pretty much specifically, you can get the best ores from the volcano, beyond the secret area, that is. But you know, it's also, I need to wait for the Agnaktor to go to sleep, not because, you know, I'm gonna just go to town with bombs or triple greatsword charge to the head, but you know, it's just, it lets me sort of get a few attacks in where I want to get attacks in. So I notice the back two legs aren't broken yet, so I'll try and hit those. Unfortunately, I can't really get to them, so I end up hitting the tail and overshooting it, and also it's hardened, so tough luck. But this thing's almost dead. There's not a lot left to say. I mean, if you're fighting this monster for the first time, try and stay near the legs. Only hit its face, or only hit it when it's all glowy and red. Well, not red. It's yellow. Or red, if you're on 3U. So there, I broke that leg. That was cool. But, yeah. You know, keep your distance. Stuff like that. Nothing too difficult. Overall, at least. The switch axe that I can make out of this thing is quite good. It's one of the better ones, at least. Also, yeah, that's the sort of side saddle move. And I was talking about the... I don't know. Yeah, that freaking head smash, such bullshit, like 90% of the time. It's almost as bad as, like, raged Brachy's explosions, where you can't, like, get out of the normal dodge. That pisses me off more than it probably should. So here I'm going for that other leg, or well, not really. I'm kind of just trying to kill it now. And boom. So, that was Agnaktor. Not a lot to say. Fun fight, kind of. I mean, not a bad fight, but not a good fight. How about that? If you're looking to fight it with something, try and fight it with the switch axe longsword. Greatsword's also pretty good. I don't know about dual swords, honestly, because I'm not a big dual sword sort of person. So here I'm taking the time to mine also, and I didn't realize to set you so far out, because there's this last spot here that you can get cool stuff from. But, this is coming to the end of my series. I think there's only 1 or 2 more episodes left. And after that, I'll probably take a break for a bit. And then be back with Dark Souls 2 is the plan. So yeah, I mean, counting down to it. This isn't the last episode, so I'm not gonna, say anything about that. But, I might come back to it at a later point, or if I have some free time and I'm feeling like playing, I'll make a video. But, maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, also, I really need to sort out my gems and stuff like that. But honestly, at the point I'm at right now, it doesn't really matter for me to do that, because I'm gonna be replacing them shortly, or well, I would be replacing them shortly. And all the stuff that I have is not really worth quite replacing. That's why I use jaggy armor and sort of a decent armor for most of the game. But as you can see, I have the urgent quest for the end of the village, which is exciting, and that's gonna be Jin Moran. Also, I didn't mean to buy that, which was unfortunate, but oh well. But yep, Jin Moran's next. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. It's been fun doing these. Last episode is next, so bye-bye.